Throughout my high school career, I have grown in many ways, not just as an athlete or a teammate. And the area in which I believe that I've had the most tremendous growth is as an individual. I've seen myself grow in so many ways over the past 4 years into something that's so incredibly different than what I was at the beginning that it's almost incomparable. When I first started high school, and even in the later parts of middle school before then, I wore a mask, both literally and figuratively. I was constantly trying to hide myself, both physically and emotionally, out of fear of being made fun of or rejected. I didn't have any real confidence in who I was. I never liked it, always being so unsure of myself and hesitant in my actions, but at the time I didn't know any different. I didn't have anything else. I ended up locking myself in a perpetuating cycle. I would wear a mask to hide my face, but I began to develop acne, and wearing the mask all the time made the acne get worse, which meant that I was going to wear the mask even more. It was a cycle that I felt like I couldn't escape, and I ended up stuck in it for the first 2.5 years of my high school career. I ended up in a similar state emotionally, too. I didn't really open up to many people, instead preferring to just try and be what they wanted or expected of me, regardless of if I wanted it or not, because I feared the possibility of being rejected if they know who it was that I really am. And in that process, I somewhat ended up forgetting who I was myself. I don't think I ever had a big wow moment that made me try and change myself, and if I did, I can't remember it. I prefer to think that I didn't need one, that I always wanted to change, and that I just needed time for it to occur, because in truth, that, alongside finally opening up and building bonds with people, was all that it took for me to improve. I didn't ever rush myself into change. My transformation throughout high school has been a slow and steady one. I didn't ever look for a grandiose leap of faith. All I needed to do was push my boundaries just a little every day. And I can remember those moments where I would first take one tiny step, like the first time I took off my sunglasses that I had worn almost religiously for years in class one day. It was dark in class and the lights were off so we could watch a video on the projector, and I had been having trouble seeing what the worksheet said. So I took off my glasses to see better. I was hesitant, nervous, and somewhat scared at the time, but now I almost never wear glasses indoors, and I feel perfectly comfortable without them. I could name multiple other times that were similar to this, and the one thing that remains a constant in all of them is how it's these little moments that, when given time, lead to a much larger change and growth in me, because this journey that I've been on the past couple of years has always been much more of a marathon than it is a sprint. This long and at times grueling experience wasn't one that I would have been able to finish alone either. It's only thanks to some of the greatest people that I've ever met that I was able to come even half as far as I have. Over my time here, I've managed to find a group of people who have stuck with me throughout this journey of self-discovery, that have been pushing me forward for the longest time. I've managed to create a family of my own who have helped me become me, and I the same for them. A family I created here at Village Tech. A family of classmates, teachers, and coaches, all of whom ended up with their place cemented in my heart. And it was these people that truly allowed me to push myself out of my shell, to understand exactly what I needed, quiet acceptance. It was in these little moments where I would take a step outside of my comfort zone, and those around me would accept it without question or hesitation, that allowed me to feel as though I didn't need to try and be someone new or different around them. It allowed me to try and rediscover who I was. This path of self-acceptance and discovery that I'm on isn't one that I'm finished with either. It's one that I will still be on as I graduate from this school, and will continue to be on for the majority of my life, most likely. And while I acknowledge that I'm nowhere near close to done, after all, there's a reason why this section is recorded, because I acknowledge that I'm still not confident enough in myself or my speaking skills to be able to tell you all of this while still staying composed and not getting overly emotional.